Hey, hello, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're checking in for the L Daily Dose. I'm happy you're here for today's message. It's been an interesting year already. Let me know what your thoughts are. I walked into 2026 a little hesitant, a little like, oh, what's this going to be? Because my last couple years were pretty rough. I think a lot of us experienced that. Let me know your thoughts. I always say this is going to be my year. And so I was a little cautious to say that this year, even though I am such a believer of the best is yet to be. I do pretty well in the null and void. But this year I was like, it reminded me of there's a Friends episode where Monica, she's the one that loves to have a plan, right? She says to Phoebe and Rachel, do you have a plan? And Phoebe says, I don't even have a PLA. And I mentioned that to one of my friends, and she goes, I don't even have a PL. So, yes, if you don't have a plan for 2026, that's right. You're not alone. I think there's many of us that are feeling that way. I know my sisters too have chatted with them about it. And I think it's okay that we're honest and human about it. You do not have to have anything perfectly mapped out. It doesn't make your worth any less. It's okay to be a little uncomfortable. And I think that to me is an invitation, a great invitation. Don't look at it as failure, look at it as an invitation for the best is yet to be. And I think for me, one of the greatest joys of my 2025 was completing Bible in a year. I did it because I thought, I grew up Catholic. I grew up with a lot of faith. I still have a lot of faith and spirituality. I won't go into all the details there because it doesn't matter. This channel is more for what resonates with you. Are you, where do you get your faith and your daily wisdom, and are you able to listen to your intuition? And for me, I'm a big believer of listening to my heart and soul, which comes from my Holy Spirit. The divine Holy Spirit is where I feel like my messages will come from. So I'll share some of that with you, but I want this channel to help you figure out where your inspiration comes from. Where are you getting your kind of your intuition? Listen to it because you'll find that you get better and better at it every single day. And that's as I evolve as a person and spiritually, I'm able to tune in a little bit more. And that's really the idea of these morning check-ins with you too. So I'll share what I picked up from my morning intuition, and then let me know what you pick up. And then we'll go from there. So, where I wanted to go with this, one of the aspects that I love most about the New Testament is the Holy Spirit. And it reminded me something very simple that we all have that inner knowing with us. And a lot of it are gifts from the Holy Spirit. And I'll share some of those down the road too. But I would say that clarity comes when we slow down. So if we were always go, 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 we wouldn't have time to really slow down and just to be present. So there's something about, even for me, if I'm feeling a little overwhelmed or my nervous system is running a mile at a minute, I stop, I take a good deep breath in and exhale, like a nice long deep breath exhale, almost to the point where I push that exhale out a little longer, and it resets my momentum. And it's also one of those things where if you're just like your brain and your mind is feeling chaotic, give yourself a little time to just rest, stop, close down your eyes, and just listen to the surrounding sounds. For me, I'm right by traffic, so the traffic hum is not so bad to listen to. I'll do that. If you're in nature and you've got the birds, even better. That will just really reset your mindset. And I want to reassure you that it's okay to not have a plan. If you have a plan, great. I love that too. But if you don't have a 5-year vision, you're not really sure what your next step is, that's okay. You'll get that intuition when it's time, and give yourself a little bit of patience. So I think the most elevated thing we can do is just be, and just to be present, kind, be steady, and know that the next step will show up when you're ready. It's like going up a ladder. You don't start at the bottom and jump to the top, right? You just go little by little. And that's a beautiful thing. So no big overhaul, no pressure. Have that peace over the mind. Be able to shut down any negative thoughts that come in. Be able to be patient with yourself. Trust yourself. Know you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And you are being guided if you can just listen and slow down long enough to listen to what you're being guided to. So I just want to say that you're not behind, you're being built one little brick at a time. And I want to say flow is key, right? I've brought that up before. So my morning devotions or meditation brought up kind of going with the flow of the river. I love that analogy. And I've probably talked about that many times on this channel, but I just want to remind us as we're getting into the year that sometimes letting go of control, expectations, you can just go with the flow and be, it is so much easier instead of swimming upstream, right? And one of the things I want to close out with is a couple questions or reflection prompts for you that I thought about too, is where are you pressuring yourself to have answers too soon? I do that a lot where I'm like, I'm just putting a little pressure where it doesn't need to be. So where are you putting pressure on yourself that maybe could just lay off a little bit? And then what would it feel like if you could just trust step by step, or kind of wait till you get that nudge or the little intuition instead of jumping to the next thing? And then what is the next right thing for you to do today? Maybe it's even as simple as, for me, when I wake up, making my bed feels good. I know a lot of people don't do it and they're like, well, I'm just going to go to sleep in it. But it's one of the things that I love to do because it's my first thing I get to check off the list. So what is it for you that is your first thing that makes you feel accomplished for the day, even if it's something simple like making a bed? But what is the next right thing for you to do today? And if you can think about those three things, I think you will be in a very good place. So I want to send you lots of love, and I will see you tomorrow for your Elle Daily Dose. Thank you.